All right, next up we got the Atlanta Falcons at the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals looking like they're playing up the form. I know they were playing against the Falcons, but the Falcons have been playing pretty decent teams very well this year. They're no slouch. They play up to their competition every game, and the Bengals absolutely obliterated them. Jamar Chase having another huge day. I love to see that. And Joe Burrow, he he's my favorite quarterback. Here's why. He doesn't have any like physical features that are like wow, like oh he threw such a good pass or threw so deep or he jumped out of the pocket or juked that guy out or arm strength. Nothing's spectacular. It is strictly being clutch and knowing where your guy's gonna be and making big plays. He plays a lot like Tom Brady. I wouldn't say he exactly like Tom because I'd say Tom is a little more patient and makes less mistakes. But Joe Burrow, when he makes mistakes, he usually bounces back. And in the biggest games of the year, besides, I mean, obviously against the Falcons, not a huge game, but in the biggest games of the year, he seems like he comes through the most. When he faces adversity, he's the best. Like, I think the Bengals are a, just a hair below Buffalo, Kansas City, and the Eagles. I think they're right there. I think if you matched up Cincinnati with any of those guys right now, you would have a great ball game. Compared to the beginning of the year when the Bengals were losing games to the Cowboys and much teams that were not that great, but ever since that Dolphins game, they seemed like they kind of like were starting to hit their stride a little bit. I think the Bengals are going to take this division. I think they're going to run with it, and bearing an injury, that team is stacked, and their defense is coming together a little better. Their offensive line's blocking a little better. I watched last game and against the Falcons, and they just look like lot more cohesive, and they're lot more willing to make plays. He has time to actually throw the ball to Jamar Chase to get open. So that's really cool to see of the Bengals. I really enjoyed watching them last year with them having three different receivers that are like could be a number one on a lot of teams. I'm a big Joe Mixon fan. He's had an off year, but I think that's because of the offensive line, and I just think that his running game will get better and better as the year progresses and temperatures start to get lower and lower. Um, so I think they're fine. As for the Falcons, I just think they're a great squad. They're a good roster. Marcus Mariota is not going to get you anywhere. I'm sorry. You can call him efficient. You can say he's the best option right now just because you have a rookie on the bench that's a fourth rounder. He slipped to the fourth round, mind you. Desmond Ritter, pro ready, would be a has a much higher upside than Marcus Mariota. Yeah, he might make a couple more mistakes, but I feel like the Falcons need someone to get them up another level because they seem like they're lacking elite leadership at the quarterback position. I think they're a really good roster. They could be good next year, the year after. They have a really good young talent: Drake London, Kyle Pitts, um, Ritter, obviously, and their defense is as young and solid. Not as bad as they were. I know they got lit up by the Bengals, but their defense has been a lot better than what I expected. I thought they would be like as bad as the Lions this year, and that's not the case. Um, so Falcons, I think another year or two, but the Bengals, I think they're gonna run away with this division title in the AFC North this year.